Alright, I'm just recording this as a quick excerpt, I don't know what the word is, for the tier list video that you're about to watch. Just know, going into this, that this is my personal opinion on all of this. I am a CC player, so think about this as coming from a crowd control player's perspective as to what's at the top, what's at the bottom. So I know a lot of your opinions are going to be different. I know these are like always super controversial videos to upload. You guys can think I'm an idiot. That's fine. But this is, remember, this is from just me basically saying what I think is good against me versus what's not good against me. So just know that going in. Please be semi-nice if you can. But if you want to disagree with me, you can. You can make your points in the comment section. And I will probably agree with most of them. But just know when I place these units, I place them where I place them because of that mentality. So I just wanted this out there. Thank you for watching this. If you're willing to subscribe or argue your points, comment them down below. If you're willing to like the video, it'd help out a lot. Please don't dislike. I mean, you can if you want. You can dislike the video if you disagree with my points. But like I said, just remember this isn't like it's for all players. This is more for like me as a CC player. So thank you, and I will see you guys, I guess, in the video. Oh, all right. Sass. So just be prepared for that if you do want to argue heavily. If you are a huge Crowl fan, and I put him in B tier, and you think Crowl is the greatest thing in the world, most annoying unit, I have a 98% win rate against Crowl, so I'm going to put him in B tier. I'm going to do that to start the video. So, actually, no, he is A tier. I'm lying. He is A tier. He's not S tier. He's A tier. He's good. He's a good unit, but he just doesn't work too well against the current units that are coming out, or like that are getting buffed. So, like, Clary shuts him down pretty heavily, which is just a 3-star that everyone's going to have. Broman obliterates him. So, regular Crow is there. ML Crow is not on this list of units, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw him in S tier. Rylet, I'm going to put in A tier as well. Neither of those are on this list. So, ML Crow is S tier. ML Crow is S tier because of his AoE immunity, plus his ramp up, plus he's a knight. So he's going to have survivability. He gives you barriers every turn. That little bit of survivability is huge. And continually cycling turn, giving himself speed buff. He's a very common first pick unit up in Champion Legend RTA. I will state that now. I am like Champion Legend RTA-ish, so I kind of know what I'm talking about, but obviously I'm still an idiot. So Aether, we're going to go ahead and put in S tier. Alexa, D tier. So this is an RTA tier list, so like everything that I put, Chloe can do some good damage. But I'm going to put things where I do believe they belong. Crozet, just go down to S tier. Or D tier. Deanne, I'm going to go... Deanne, I really don't like too much because she's in the same position as Crow. She just isn't too insane. She gives good buffs. She gives good turn cycling. She's a great soul builder in RTA. But if you're using... She's hard to draft because she can get countered very easily as well. So she is still a good unit, but not crazy. And I may change my mind on some of these depending on which other units. If a list gets too stacked, at the end I may bump some down. So Ice Dominion we break down. And actually... Inot can be C. No, I'm just kidding. Inot's D. Jenna, go down, put E. Corinne, just E. Kisei, I'm going to put Kisei in A tier after a new buff. I just did some videos of her today on stream. She's very, very good. Rylet is F tier. Rylet is A tier. But Kisei, I believe, is on the same par as Rylet now that she gives herself sustainability. She gives herself CR push, so she can continually cycle. She can protect herself from single target damage dealers. So Rylet is another unit in that same scenario to where he has the ability to protect himself. He does insane damage. So Rylet is still a very good unit. Yeah, I know there's a meme that Rylet doesn't dodge, but you're working on a 70% chance. You flip a coin 3 times, you're going to get tails 1 time. And it could be the first time you flip it. So Rylet is just an RNG character, but he is still, if Rylet works, he's insanely good. So that's why he's just there. So we're going to put Luna down there. We're going to go ahead and put her. Momo, I'm going to go ahead and put up into A tier as well. Honestly, she's borderline S tier in terms of crowd control countering. So Momo, specially changed Momo. I don't know if there's a picture for her. I think we just have to use this one. But it's specially changed Momo. So Angelica Montmorency, I think, would be good. Luna, obviously, is G tier. I mean, what's she going to do? Until her exclusive artifact or rework, she isn't going to do anything. No, Aether isn't actually S tier. Aether is like SS tier. Aether's the best character in the game. She is very, she's just waifu, like, obviously. But yeah, Montmorency is just very good for countering crowd control. She's good against ML Tywin. She's just a very good overall sustainability unit that just counters a lot of the current matter. So Roman, I'm going to go ahead and put him in B. He's not as good as Broman, but he does have his place. You can put him on Abyssal Crown. He does strip. He adds some debuffs. So he can work good against ML Tywin because he will oversec debuffs, whereas Broman doesn't get that. But Blue Roman just isn't quite up to par with the other units that do the same job. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Rose in A tier. Rose is a fantastic enableizer. Her giving her CR push, I personally use Rose a lot, but I can't draft her all the time. She's very, very slow, so it's hard to build her on good enough speed. So, no talk about Rima. Do you actually think Rima's okay? Okay. Okay, I mean, Rima gives some fun stuff. I know some people have tried it, but personally, I've never seen a Rima used in a champion or above RTA, so I'm going to put it in DJ. But Rose just is a very good unit. Giving attack buff onto your damage dealing units can work for a very, very good cleave, especially if you 5th pick Rose and you know they don't have any kind of unit to speed boost in front of you. She either becomes a must ban or you just deal massive damage. So Sez is D tier, sadly. And I'll put Sez in C tier. Because Sez, if you build a team around Sez, he can work. I won't give him anything above C. But if you build a team around Sez, get him boosted up, he can dunk a unit and kind of wipe the enemy team, or at least get them low HP. So Sigrid, I'm going to go ahead and put in B tier. Sigrid is good for PvP and RTA. She's really good RB counter. She's really good in cleaves because her S2, she can counter T-Cern. Because if you are cleaving, draft her, just S2 the T-Cern, she's going to just die. As long as there's no kind of shield on her prior. So Sigrid is pretty dang good. She's great for PvE, but she's decent for RTA. But she relies on all other units on board to work around her. So that's where a unit like Aether, just standalone, fantastic. Or hopefully I'll get another S tier unit up here pretty soon. So Terror Guard obviously just goes down here. This guard goes down there. Tywin, we can put in C tier because he can be an AoE defense break. There is one person that does use him in higher RTA and their cleave, and it works sometimes. He's like made Chloe too. Yuna, I actually think Yuna is kind of a good unit because she has great base speed. She gives attack and speed buff. She works really good in single target cleave teams like with Green Sid and other units like that. So she's just pretty easy to build. If you build her on Drake, she can do great damage. You could skip your crit chance, crit damage, and just build her on Drake with attack and survivability or something if you would like. But just a high speed is fantastic. So then Katie's is going to probably be... Katie's is about the same as Momo, honestly. Momo maybe needs to be B tier, but Momo's so good. I don't think a Katie's deserves A tier. I'm going to put a Katie's in B tier. She's a fantastic unit. She doesn't have the base self-effect, or self-effect res that Montmorency does, so it's harder to get her into the comps that work good. Katie's is fantastic for Guild Wars and other things, but for RTA... people will draft her. She can work. But overall, I think Momo's better, personally. So, we go ahead and Adelaide, no, I'm going to put Adelaide C tier. Adelaide does have a really cool kit. He does give himself boost. If you build him with effectiveness, he can be used. Not many people use him currently, but he has a place that can work. So I will go ahead and give him this. Same with Arametha. Arametha, just the problem with her is her S3 is a little bit rough on the stun chance. With the stun chance, it's 50%. She does do burns. She does now, with her new buff, she does deal damage on her S2 no matter what, and gives you attack buff. She's okay, but she's usable, but not ideal. Adelaide counter F-Lit though, and rest? Yeah, exactly. And he resets. So Adelaide is pretty good, but it's just something, he has 3-star base stats. 3-star base stats are super hard to go around if the unit doesn't have special exchange. So the reason Momo and other 3-star, Falcon or Clay, they're so good. They have 3-star base stats, but they have a specialty tree that gives them more base stats. So it's the same with all the 5 new 3-stars that are out. Ian, Godmother, Glenn, they all have 3-star base stats, and it makes it so hard to get them to be able to do anything against 5-star base stats, which is a little rough. Same tier, trash on 10 tier list. Wait, Arametha and Tywin in the same tier. Do you think Tywin's better? We're going to rearrange a couple at the end, but I'm just doing a quick overview. RB is still S tier. No matter what anyone says, RB is just a single-handed good. If you pick RB, he just controls the draft. So RB will always be S tier. If they could release a billion counters to him, RB will always be S tier, no matter what. Because you can throw him in any draft. He's insane. He always will be insane. Tywin B at least. I agree Tywin is better than these units down here. I will say Tywin's better. You're right. I'll agree with you on that. But yeah, Adelaide is good, but yeah, that's the problem with him is directed to you by Violet. Okay, so Green Armin, I'm going to put on B tier. She does add a lot of different things to your team. One person that uses Green Armin very well in RTA is Cafe Kaz. She's niche, but she is good. So I will throw her in B. I won't go over her skills too much because I don't know them all off the top of my head. I know she gives blind chance. She does give a little bit of healing. She gives some barriers, so she sustains. She kind of crowd controls, and she Hodors. She just walls for you. So Arrowell, just throw it in the bottom. Cartuja somewhere floating between C and B tier. He is good, but he's bad at the same time. But he's good, but I don't know. Only if they are debuffed, yeah. He has defense break and CR push. Wait, Armin's a guy? Wait, Armin's a dude? Hold up. We pause this. Armin has highest S1. Oh, also, yeah, you're correct. Armin does have the highest S1 stun chance. So Armin does have that. Okay, Logan scared me. I was like, wait, Armin's a dude. Okay, we're safe. We're safe. I think we're safe. So Assassin Sid, I'm going to go ahead and throw him in B tier, I think. I don't know. He's somewhere between B and A. He's the opposite. But Armin also does have Sun Chase. That's one which is very good. Like, Armin is like a crowd control knight, kind of like A Tywin. So she's just pretty good. I think A Sid does belong in A tier. A Sid takes insane gear. If the unit is on immunity and bulky, A Sid literally doesn't do anything to them. Just hits them and then they laugh at him. He is really good overall because he does steal souls as well. So he does belong in A tier. I think the reason he can be put up to A tier is because he does steal souls. And Assassin Coley is going to be in that same position. Assassin Coley is just great. A-Lots is going to be in that same position. A-Lots just becomes a must-man if you throw it on board. A-Lots, no matter what draft you're doing, you still have A-Lots in there, and you get turn 1. Even if you're playing a tank team, you can Oxlots into your crowd, give yourself defense buff before they do anything with their fast damage dealers, and then you're just instantly walled up. So A-Lots is good in cleave, he's good in any kind of team comp, and it's super annoying to fight. S tier, a lot too strong. We're going to move some from A tier up to S tier at the end. We have so many units to go through. Look at all these. We have a bunch. So is this not big enough, by the way? Hold on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here, let's zoom in so you guys can actually see a little bit better. You guys should have said it was small. I feel like Coley is better than A-Sid. I do personally, too. A-Coley is the better version of the two. In terms of damage dealing, in terms of control, Sid is a little bit better because Sid also steals the souls. So that's the thing is like Sid, if they're drafting mages, Sid is better. If they're drafting non-mages, A-Coley, but A-Coley is also a tank buster, so she works in more spots. So I think A-Coley would be higher, but it's hard. They just don't deserve S tier. There are very few units, in my opinion, that are S tier right now, and RB definitely is one of them. So Azazel, or whatever her name is, doesn't deserve it. Is Ball D tier? I can't even get myself to look at Ball. I think Basar deserves S tier. I think he's one of the units that does. Because Basar just shuts down so much. He becomes a must-ban. He shuts down everything in the game. And you can soul burn to guarantee it. I think Basar deserves it. It's C, I think. You think Ball would be C? I just don't know what he does after his buff because it's still not good enough to care about, sadly. You should agree to cookies and hit F11. Will F11 full screen it? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go to this screen real quick. What happens if I agree to the cookies? Doesn't my thing get... I'm not going to agree to the cookies. We're not going to agree to the cookies. Cookies are bad. Alright, but I did F11. We'll just let the cookies be there, okay? I don't know if cookies sound good, but I don't think they're good, right? Bellona, I'm going to go ahead and put in C tier. She is an AoE defense breaker, but on a lesser chance than, say, Tywin. So Tywin does belong above, so that is a good comparison, I think. Bellona just isn't too crazy. Blingo, I'm going to put at B tier. He's one of the better cleaving units. But with the reason the people that use Blingo, the reason he works so well with them is because they build their entire team around Blingo. And they didn't have all the teams around. I don't think he'd be great. A-Lots to be S tier since people need to play around him, I think. I'd agree with that. A-Lots is definitely above A-Sid and A-Coley. He's above Rose. I think A-Lots can be S tier. I agree with that. If Basar's S tier, I think A-Lots is the same. BBK is going to go ahead and be down in the same category as Blingo. They're basically the same unit. F Mevlin, I mean... Keep cookies in the jar, exactly. I'm keeping the cookies in the jar. So Butcher Corpse actually is a good anti-cleave unit. Warbolt did a really funny Butcher Corpse specialty change thing on stream one day, and it actually worked pretty good. So SC Carrot, go ahead and throw that there. Green Cartuja, I don't even know what he does. CC, I'm going to put it B tier. She's somewhere between B tier and A tier. She's really good. She's better than like all these other units, honestly. But I don't know if she deserves A tier. She does... Maybe she does. I don't know. I think she does, actually. CC is A? Yeah, I think so. I think so, too, actually. Because she gives AoE immunity to your team. She AoE attacks on both her things. She gives S1 defense breaks. She has decent base speed. She's a knight. She can hold knight artifacts. I think she's A tier. And she also attack breaks. She AoE provokes, so if your enemy isn't running immunity, or if you Broman into her, or Litika or somebody, and then AoE provoke and just lock them down while you have immunity, she is a very, very strong unit. Celeste, we're going to go ahead and put in C tier. Celeste's new bust might bump her up to B tier, honestly. But I haven't seen many people test it yet, so I think this is... She might be B tier with her buffs. I'll leave her there. Celestia Mercedes. Celestia Mercedes just... she takes too much around her to be good. She has a fun idea of a kit, but just not enough to be... I'll put her up here. She isn't terrible. So I guess this is the terrible tier. This is the... okay. I can put them above at least the terrible tier. The reason Angie's down here is because she's so slow. Clarissa, pretty slow too. Bask, he's okay. Bask is actually kind of okay. She is like a budget stunner. I can maybe move her up. But the rest of these just don't do it. I think C-Dom B? Think about it. Why would C-Dom not be B? C-Dom's either A or B. In my opinion, I think she's B because she takes all other units around her to make her work. You can't just draft C-Dom into a Knight comp and have it work. But you can draft Fire CC into a Cleave comp and it'll work. So that's why Fire CC is above C-Dom, is because Fire Cecilia, you could draft it into a Cleave comp and have her at decent speed. She's going to work fine. Like, a lot of people draft Fallen Cecilia into them. But C-Dom, you can only use in Cleave. She's a very, very good unit, but only usable within Cleave. So I think she's B, because that's the only place yeah, you need someone to go first. Yeah, so that's why I think she's B. She's too reliant on all other units around her. That's how Blingo, like I said, BBK, they're great units. BBK is one of the highest damage dealing units in the game, but relies on the stuff around. Because if you build them to be a self-sustaining unit, they don't work to their abilities. So Chaos Inquisitor Axe, I want to put him on D tier. He might be C tier, but I'm not going to go too far into him. Charles is going to be B tier. For RTA at least. Charles kind of... So Charles is B tier because he's inconsistent. Charles would be A tier easily if he had a little bit higher chance to proc, I think. Because Charles is a very scary unit. Speed Charles is even scarier, and he gives AoE attack buff. He's almost A tier. I almost want to put Charles A tier. Do you guys think A or B for Charles? I think he's B because of his inconsistency, but he is such a good unit. The wording, that's a wording that is playing with fire. What is? I mean, I know this video is gonna cause a bunch of. If anyone watches it, it's gonna be like, yo, this guy's an idiot. High B, low A, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm like, these aren't in any order. In the tier part, it's not in any order. Charlotte is, I think, up there at the same spot. Charlotte's very, very good, but she's easily countered by anything that strips or SSB. A is love for A there. So, oh wait, so they do. So these are the two X gods, so they do have the specialty changes. So this Momo will get taken down. Alright, so Green Sid, I'm going to go ahead and slap up into B tier as well. He is an imprint. He does work very good, but he doesn't work good, like, standalone, in my opinion. Commander Lorena, just not even going to put on there. Fire Corvus got nerfed. C. Armin is pretty good. C. Armin deserves B tier because AoE immunity. I know a couple people that play her pretty high. Dark Horus, honestly, is... I think I have to put Dark Horus B tier because of the other units I put B tier. So Dark Horus is really good drafting into tank comps, but I haven't lost to a Dark Horus since Season 1. You think he's A? I can give him A, but the fact that I gave him A and didn't give, like, Charlotte or this. Dark Horus can solo teams. Dark Horus is one of the best 5th picks in the game because he's either a must ban or a... so I'll give him A tier. He deserves it. I think he can do it. He requires a team. Yeah, he does require... All of these units require a team, but that was just my reasoning on C-Dom being B tier. Like, C-Dom only... You can only use in one style of team. Dark Horus, you can draft... If they draft tank, and you're fumbling your draft because you don't know how you're going to break through it, and you just slap a D-Corvus down, it becomes a must ban, you get all your other units for free. Or then you just solo Dark Horus. So, C-Dom is not a 5th picking unit that just throws the whole game off. Dark Horus is. So I will give it to it. Don't lie, somebody uses C-Dom on counter right now, but yeah, but that C-Dom doesn't do any damage. It does like 4k. So it's just not too good. Dingo, I think a couple of people try to use Dingo. I don't want to throw him on D tier just in case he is viable, but I don't know much about him. Doris, they're going to put on D tier for right now. She is getting special change. Elson, Questionable S tier with Aether, but I'll put him down there as well. Xeno, obviously D tier. I won't meme around too much more. Wait, can I not put any more D tiers? I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So, Icerado doesn't he have... I think he can work for some stuff, but he's not that good. Falconer Clary is S tier. Fighter Maya, I'm going to go ahead and put at B tier. Fighter Maya is really good. She almost is A tier. I'm going to say she's B tier, but she's almost A tier. I got the D. Seriously, add extra. I don't know what I'm doing. It's my first ever tier list. Give me a break. All right, General Pergus, I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to add General Pergus to B tier. General Pergus is a terrifying unit to bring against Cleaves. And he also, with his new HP scaling damage, if someone builds a good General Pergus, he actually is pretty good because he also has AoE stun on his Esther and attack buff for your team. So if you don't go the Wyvern 13 build, he's actually very viable in RTA after his buffs. Gloomy Rain, I think, is okay. We'll go ahead and throw Gloomy Rain up. Guy Aether I know can be used too, so go ahead. Yo, why is this getting so hard? All right, Gunther, I think I'll put in C tier because he's hard to keep alive. Haste is F tier. Hazel, I'm going to go ahead and put in F tier. Helga, F tier. Hirado, we'll go ahead and put in C tier. Hirado's not bad. Icerado can do damage. He can't do damage. He's a CC unit. Doesn't he stun on S3? I know he's like the same as C. Like, these are like the same unit, right? Am I dumb? Yeah, these are like the same unit. So I'm going to put them together. He can be used for CC. So Asaria, I'm going to put Asaria in A tier. Is that greedy? I don't have Asaria personally, but I feel like Asaria is like a unit coming in and breaking the meta and going to be one of the top tier units as people figure it out. So I think I put Asaria in A tier. Asaria is just becoming so good. Asaria's busted. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. I wish I had chat on screen actually, so that in the YouTube video they could see you defending me. Judge Keith, I'm going to put it at B tier with CDOM because Judge Keith is like the same spot as CDOM. You have to build the team around her, or you have to build her on the speed effectiveness build. But then I don't know if she personally does enough. She needs more CC options like a blind, attack down, some kind of extra thing to put on her skill. She does give the skill cooldown reset, which is good, and she has strip on us too. But currently with the meta of RT, I think she would be B tier because she does have the flexibility of building her two different ways. If you do go full cleave, I think she's like around with CNOM. Kisei is D-Deer. D-Deer. I don't know what that means. D-Deer. Double D's? I don't know. Judith, we'll go ahead and put... Judith's a B tier too. Kayron, I'm going to put in B tier. Do you agree with Kayron being B tier? He's really fallen off because if he gets stripped, he can get locked down so easy and then he's just dead. So, I honestly think he's B tier and Charlotte's actually above Kayron nowadays. What a boomer? Double D tier? Yeah, double D. Yeah, okay. No, I got the reference. I'm making a YouTube video. I'm trying to avoid the boob talk. SMH. Think DD is too small, TBH? Okay. Ken, I'm going to put him at C tier. He's almost usable. Kyrus, obviously, isn't going to do... Wait! It lets me extend the D tier now. Wait, hold on. I extended the D tier. Wait, can I delete these now? Delete row. Pog. I big-brained it. Nice. How did I get so smart? GG tier. Easy. Okay, so Kitty Clarissa, I'm going to go ahead and put in B tier. Kitty Clarissa is very good. She's a warrior, so you can put Shrek Gauntlet on. She's very good for anti-CC. She's almost A tier, honestly, in my opinion. She almost can... No, she's B tier because that's her only purpose. She does give the dual attack options, but not quite what we're looking for. So, Leo, go ahead and put him on D tier. Fire Litika, I almost want to put Fire Litika A tier. So, I use Fire Litika a lot. Is Fire Litika A tier greedy? I mean, if Ace Sid's on A tier, Fire Litika is A tier, right? Because Fire Litika, you can build her on just your fastest speed gear. You don't even need effectiveness. You just literally just put speed and some speed on her. That's it. That's all you need. What tier is this, Adelaide? I mean, it's potato tier. But I think I just do this. Kayron is... You think Kayron's still A? Kayron's really... I'll give it to you. I do use him a little bit, but Kayron, I feel like it's fallen off so much. In terms of like Guild War and Arena, yeah, Kayron's still up there. But for RTA, how often do I see Kayron in RTA? The only time I see him is if I'm drafting him against a Cleaver using Green Sid and Ruse It and stuff. That's the only time I ever see him. Kayron's big B. I think Kayron's B too. I'm going to stick with my guns on that one. I will disagree. Flitika's just so easy to build. She is a speed contestant unit, 124 base speed. She 100% belongs up here with Acoli, Acid, and she's easier to build than Acoli, Acid with the same speed. So it's the same. ML Ren's going to be in the same tier. So Lorena, we're going to go ahead out. Lots, I guess you can do the double Lots boost thing. Has a place. Ludwig, you can cleave with them. It's okay. So here's a hard one. Maid Chloe. Is Maid Chloe B or C? I think Maid Chloe can go up to B. If you draft Maid Chloe as a 5th pick, she's very viable. She's easily countered, but she gives the attack buff revive. I know Shuffles uses her quite a bit. You think B tier? Okay, that's what I'm thinking too. I think it's pretty good. ML Ken, I think I'll throw the B tier too. ML Ken, I think the effect res ML Ken builds are the best, but he's either B or C. They're both in the same spot. They're both in like the weird position. K-Ron's much higher than these two, though, personally, I think. But I think they're both B as well. So Hazel, I'm going to go ahead and just slow her down. I mean, we already put that specially changed one. Maya is okay because Maya has really good base speed. So she can be used. So I'll put her in C. Mersa, I'm going to go ahead and put in A tier. Mersa is a very, very good unit, 3-star. She's like a Rylet, so I would put her up here with Rylet. I feel like those two are very similar units. So I'll give her that. Mersa, I think, is actually better than Rylet, but Rylet is up here, and ML Crowl is up in S tier. So those of you, if you're watching this part of the video. Mukacha, go ahead and throw him in the trash. Nemesis in the trash. Otil in the trash. Dollmaker Pearl Horizon is, I'm going to give her a C tier, honestly. No, she's better. I'm going to give her B. I have to give her B, because she is good. It's just hard to draft her. Pergus, I think I got to give it a C. Do you feel, or do you agree with me on these, or anything you want to argue? I've done quite a few really fast. So Pergus, I've got to give him a C because he's really strong, but he just doesn't fit right now for some reason. AoE counter stun. Do you think he's B? I think he might deserve B. You think low B? Okay. I think he deserves B. He does pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Phyllis down here. So Raz, I'll give Raz. I think Raz and Lilius both deserve A. Ravi is also working up close to A, in my opinion. Don't you think? I think Ravi's working her way up to A. No, Ravi's B. If all these units are B, I gotta put Ravi B too. Ravi's getting really good, but Ravi's about the same as Charlotte. So Ravi S tier. I think Raz is S tier. You think Raz is S tier? I don't know. We'll go in. I'll move some units up to S tier after. Gloomy Rain. I'll just put her C. Ruzid, I think, is a B. All right, we'll run out of room. I got to start scrolling down for each of these. Brickrus, I'm going to throw him on D tier, honestly. Green Rin, I think, still deserves D tier. She just doesn't deserve any of it. This is just regular Ruzid. I don't even want to put him on here, but I'll just put him next to the other one. Ruel, I'm going to give A tier. So, yes, Raz S tier if you got the gear. Yeah, Raz is really good, so is Lilius. But I think my S tier is going to be the S tier. The units that are just... If there's an A-Raz on the field, you're not like, oh crap, I need to ban that A-Raz. Almost ever, are you? Honestly. But if you see a Falconer Clary, you're like, probably need to ban that. You see an Oxlots, probably need to ban the Basar, you probably need to ban RB. You have to play around him. So you have to instantly play around. Ruel, high S, I do not agree. I'm putting Ruel A tier with the other two. She's like high A, but I cannot give Ruel an S tier. She's really good. She might deserve us, actually. If Crowl is A, I think Ruel's a little bit above Crowl. Personally, though, yeah, I'll give it to her. I'll give Ruel the S tier. I will agree, because Ruel does give me problems sometimes. I'll give Ruel the S tier. She's low S, but she's S tier. She's annoying. Shuri, I'm going to go ahead and just give B because it's speed imprint only. Cirilla, get rid of it. Shadow Rose, I'll put her on C. I think Kenny runs a pretty good one. S as a Katie's, I'll put on C because you have to build a whole team around her. Silk, 0. This is one... Silverblade Aramenta is 100% A tier, not S. I want to put her S. If people built her and played her with the proper team comps, she is the scariest unit in the entire game. Shadow Rose is easily A tier, in my opinion. I put her B, right? Oh, wait, no. Right, Shadow Rose, I will agree, is B. Sorry, I meant to put her B. No, SS Katie's is B too, right? Yeah, I think these both deserve B. Yeah, over what's down here. But sorry, I put them in the... It's hard to remember. This list is getting so long. There's so many units. I still have like 30, 40 left. Okay, so I think Silverblade Aramenta, if people built her and played the right cops around her, I feel like she's unstoppable in RTA. Because she's Fire Tenebria, but not fire. She's neutral element. Wait, so Maid is B tier, realize S when she only heal one unit at a time and can only revive once? Yeah, so in high level RTA, there's only one person that uses... So, at like the top legend, there's only one person that uses Maid Chloe right now, and it is Shuffles, and he very rarely uses her. Maid Chloe is just too easy to counter because you can strip the revive. When she revives, they don't get any kind of protection. So, it's like Maid Chloe's still good, but it's like Emma Ken's still good, but honestly, Seedom's still good, but she just doesn't work once you get to higher levels. I don't feel like personally. Because, I mean, I never fight her. Specimen says I'm going to throw him in B tier because he kind of... Spectre Tenebria, I want to throw her in S tier. I think I want to throw Spectre in S tier. Do you think she deserves it? She's very high A tier. Because she just shuts down half the meta. Because anything that's single target, she just comes out and is like, hey, you lose. It's high A because she's also a Toggle holder. Power creeped. High A, S tier. I think I'm going to give her the highest A tier. Because she's just too good. T-Cern, I'm going to go ahead and throw it C tier because she only... And she's speed imprint. Any speed imprint, I'm going to throw still on B tier because they instantly have viability. Tamarin, I'll throw on C tier in case someone's Tamissary cleaving. Fire Tenebria is easy A tier for me. Not even going to argue with anyone on that. Sorry. No time. Fire Tenebria is so good. Easy A. Villager, I'm going to put a B tier. Speed imprint, easy. C tier, honestly, Violet, I'm going to go ahead and have to throw him on C tier. Wanda's pretty good, or especially changed Wanda. I'm going to put her on B. She's like low B, I think, right now, because we can't find the spot quite for her. You say because you CC? Fire Tenebria is just good anyway. They don't run any kind of AoE immunity, she becomes a must ban. If she's built bulky, you saw Booty Pops. Fire Tenebria is like 200 speed. That's it. And it completely controlled different teams. With Violet C tier? Green, I mean, do you think he deserves B tier? I guess he deserves B tier over all this stuff. He's either high B, low, or high C, low B. He just can't be really played because he doesn't get his evasion and he just dies turn 1. So if anyone goes before you, he just dies. So Wonder Silk, I'll go ahead and throw in C. She has some cool stuff. Watch Sherry Speed and Print. He automatically gets B tier. Euphine gets B tier. She's almost A tier, I feel like. She gets B tier. She has so many uses. You can build her from heavy damage. You build her 240 speed. She gets 50% bonus damage on her S3, so she can one-shot. She also strips on her S3, so even if you aren't going to one-shot, you can just stun. Usually you draft her against SSB if you build her like 230 speed. You can build her 280 speed. She'll strip and silence on turn 1 with her S2. She has so many. Charon's only a B tier in my opinion, yes. Charon's slow. Well, did I move Charon to S tier? I think Charon's only B tier, but I also have a lot of units in B tier. Charon has fallen off so hard in high-level RTA. This is RTA tier list from like a top 200 and above player perspective. Is what I'm trying to do. Well, it's my personal one too. So it's like trying of what I see in RTA, what they draft against me. I never have Charon draft against me, and when it does, he doesn't do anything because he gets locked down by stripping units. So if the Charon's only place right now, I feel like is anti-cleave. Am I wrong? I feel like Charon's B. I feel like that's his only place is anti-cleave. I mean, I might be wrong. You guys are free to disagree. This is just my personal opinion. You guys have a completely different opinion. It's fine. It's not... I think Charon's B, though, personally. Like, he's still a great unit, especially for everything else, but he's just so easily controlled. Because once you proc him, if you stun him, you strip his immunity, he's just dead. Soul, I'll give him a B, C tier, because he can one-shot Charon's or whatever. Kind of funny. Dizzy gets S tier. Dizzy is one that has to have S tier, and, like, a decently high S tier. Honestly, I'm going to move Falcon or Clary. Arby's not that high of S. But RB deserves, like, pretty high S, in my opinion. But, like, RB, you have to draft around him. Like, you can't say just because he has counters, he's down in B tier. Because once you draft RB, they're going to pick him out haste. They're going to pick bulky units, probably. Then you just can CC them. So RB can set you up for the dream draft because you can't ignore him. Fire 10 is high A, yeah, I agree. I'm going to put them two right next to each other. I'm trying to be very picky on the S tiers. As much as I can. So, Baiken, I'm going to go ahead and throw Baiken in B tier. I do like Baiken. She's very good. Almost A tier, honestly, if you build her properly. I'm going to put her higher B tier. I really like Baiken. But she just doesn't have as much as these other units do. Because if you build her too fast, her damage falls off. But I do like Baiken a lot because she also CR pushes. Yay, Baiken. Baiken's high B tier. Almost A. I know you use Baiken. As Aether Bowls, why Aether is OP, exactly. T-Cern replaced Charon for countercleave. T-Cern's S tier as well. Is T-Cern... Have I even seen T-Cern? So... ML Leo, I gotta put him C tier. As much as we want him to be good, Ball I'm gonna put B tier. I really think Ball's almost A tier because once Ball gets drafted against you, it's usually scary. But I'm gonna put him B tier. He's almost really good. Captain Rickrus, fallen off. C tier. I'm gonna put Sermia B tier because if you build Sermia like the Euphine, I think they both serve about the same purpose. Just one's for SSB, one's for non-SSB. ML Ren, I'm putting A tier 100% up with Fire Litika and these units because the 124 base speed, you don't have to build effectiveness if you don't go for a unit with high effect res. So just build ML Rin on 290-ish speed with your fastest speed gear, or however fast you can get her. Just build her with no effect res, or effectiveness, and just target SSBs, target K-Rons, just don't go for Ruel, don't go for Krauss, don't go for Deans, don't go for Momos. So you don't need effectiveness for most units in the game, especially these like Fire Litika and her. So ML Rin, and she gives you AoE immunity to your team, which is immediately A tier, honestly. So Fallen Cecilia does deserve S tier. She is just too broken. Dizzy is horrible. Yeah, Dizzy's horrible. She is going to be pretty high. I think Basar is over her, and Falconer Clary is over her as well, but she deserves high S tier. Lulaca, I'm going to go ahead. She is an AoE defense breaker. I'll go ahead and put her. Where did I put Tywin? She does have a 100% defense break chance on her S3, correct? I believe she does, and she's a mage, so Tigels. I'll put her B tier. Hard to use her right now in RTA. Caesar I'll go throw B tier too. He is an annoying unit to counter. Lilibet, I want to throw into C tier just because she'll be like the highest C tier unit because she just doesn't do what she's supposed to do. She's okay. 85, it's 85. She can still be B tier. I like her. Tywin's just better, so in terms of defense breaking, but no book is the difference. But Tywin, you can soul burn, defense break, and then boost a unit. So Tywin's just better. Nobody said she can cleave. You don't cleave with her, you defense break with her. So you're not trying to cleave with Lulaca, you're setting yourself up for a cleave. So Lulaca is there. Emma Lulaca is going to be S tier. I 100% think that. But Lulaca, she's there for like a setup unit. So she's going to be there. You're going to strip. You're going to use her defense break. Then you're going to hit with your Blingo, your BBK, your RB, one of your AoE damage dealers. Dizzy is A tier at best. Dizzy's A tier at best. Are you cracked out of your mind? Dizzy instantly controls the draft. If they slap a Dizzy down, you don't have a way to stop her, you lose. Like, Dizzy is falling down, I feel like, but Dizzy's still very strong. Because Dizzy can be put on Layla's Violin and strip you. Dizzy can be on Abyssal and constantly lock you down with Abyssals. So there's two different Dizzies. If you go the Speed Dizzy, I think the Speed Dizzies are scarier. Counter Dizzies are just annoying, but they're easier to work around. But if you fight a 250 Dizzy, show me your Legend Frame HBC. Wait, what's HBC saying? Dizzy, oh. I don't have Legend Frame either, Logan. Don't bully him. What do you say? That flexible doesn't mean shit when you're done? I mean, okay. Okay, guys, if you're going to get mad about this tier list, don't watch. I'm going to say that right now. Just don't watch it. This is my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion. It doesn't, just because a unit you like is, other people don't think it's good, then just go use it and show them it's good, or struggle against it. It's not, you don't have to argue about it. I'm not trying to cause an argument. Big Cap'n? Why would anyone ever troll on a tier list? I mean, I'm kind of trolling, but I'm giving my honest opinion though on a lot of these units. Like, it's just, this is how I play. I don't show against this stuff. SSB, honestly, SSB, you guys know I first pick SSB 99% of the time until lately, and that is because lately she has fallen to A tier. I can't pick it. Obviously trolling, probably trolling, but it's all good. I don't want, okay, I don't want you guys fighting on YouTube too if you're watching this. It doesn't matter. You can make your own tier list, and you can say I'm an idiot. You probably are going to do that. That's fine. Like, I'm not the smartest person in the world, obviously. Aether's at S tier. Vivian is going to go into A tier. Vivian, any kind of AoE giving unit is S tier for me, no matter what. And she is one of the highest damage dealing units in the game because of her turn cycling and everything, or highest damage output units in the game. Her Dignitas Orb artifact is insane on her. It's going to be insane on Emma Lulaca as well. But she just counters so many units. She is countered by a lot of units, is why she's not higher on the A tier, I guess, because Basar counters her, Alencia counters her, a bunch of stuff counters her. Are we missing Alencia? No, Alencia's here, okay. I gotta try to remember the units we're missing at the end. Kawazu goes into D tier, Furious D tier. Apoc Ravi gets a solid C tier almost. I'll give her B. I'll give Apoc Ravi B because her new buff on her S3, it's not new anymore, but it gives 100% CR boost to whichever unit, so it allows you to play her in a way that can be okay, but honestly, she's just fallen so far. She's fallen so far. A Ravi not A tier. She's not. She just doesn't do anything. She can't do anything. Very rarely does Apoc Ravi actually get to do what she's intended to do. A Ravi can solo? I think you're playing a different game, Ulysses. Effectiveness A Ravis are the best A Ravis. If you build effect res Arabi, she gets pushed up to higher B tier. But with her single target, I don't know. I don't know. I do not personally ever have any problems with APOC Rabi anymore. I used to. She used to be good. But she's just starting to fall off. I mean, you bring Spectre Tenebria, she's dead. You bring any kind of CC, if she's not effect res build, she's dead. She's not going to get to move. So, she just doesn't quite have it. And she gets weaker over time because of Frenzy. So she's just not like ideal for. She came out before RTA did. Maybe low champ, my bad, top 200 player. I mean, it's just. I mean, you guys see me play. She never gets drafted. She never gets drafted. I'm not trying to flex like my ranking or make you think you're or like try to say you're like wrong. I guess I kind of am. It's just in the top X amount of players, she doesn't get drafted. Yeah, see, Medlin, she just doesn't get drafted. So this is an RTA tier list in terms of the highest level of RTA. Is what I'm trying to wrap around. But in my opinion too. So it's like if Aetherbold or any of the top players right now did this, they would do a completely different one. They'd have some the same. So okay, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So I did put Butcher Corpse here. I'm scared to upload this now because I know people are gonna be freaking going crazy. So Momo I'm gonna put up to A tier because I think she's the best healer. I'm gonna take this Momo and put her down now. I put the Momo down. I'm ready to fight now. Or we'll fight. Give me just a minute. We'll fight after this. All right. So T Crowset I think is actually pretty good. I'll put him B tier. Batiste goes down in the garbage. Ainz gets the garbage treatment. Hatan garbage treatment. Kawazu garbage treatment. Lilius is A tier. Same with up there with Raz. Lilius just too easy to control with the current controlling units in the game. Lilius is very good. Higher A. She's higher A though. I think honestly Lilius is still better than Raz though. Raz is more consistent. They're about the same because one cleanses, one doesn't cleanse. One gives defense buff, one gives a provoke, so it gives more like control lockdown. I feel like they're about the exact same level unit. I think they're pretty good. So Melissa, I'm gonna put Melissa low B tier. She's hard to use right now. DJ Basar, I have to put a C tier. He's the worst ML5 unit. I think DJ Basar is the worst ML5 unit. Am I wrong? I'm curious, chat. Am I wrong on ML Ball being the worst ML5? If you don't play controller, Ravi is not a threat. Yeah, Stanley PB, thank you. Some people, I'm not even gonna look at the comment section. I don't think of this. I'm just gonna upload it and let the war zone begin. ML Balls is bonker good. Yeah, ML Balls great. DJ Basar I think's the worst because he's not that. HVC is for sure trolling now. Yeah. HVC is trolling. Or it's fine. Fanburn TV, good to see you. Koana Man. Koana might be C tier, but I don't know. Where's A Momo? A tier. A Momo's the best healer besides like she's up there with Deanne and LeBruel is the only one that busted into S tier and she's the edge of S tier. Says he's the worst, but not below. No, so the ordering doesn't matter. The ordering doesn't matter. I think DJ Basar he's okay. But yo! Ulysses, you didn't need... I feel bad, dude. You're going too hard. Holy hell. I don't even have the alert thing popped up. You didn't... this is a new scene in my OBS. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. Let's get back into the tier list. I had to cut out a little section of that. Ulysses just gifted 50 subs at once, and it broke me, and my alerts are messed up, and I felt bad. But thank you, Ulysses. The little, I guess, shout out of this video, carried by Ulysses. But all right, we're back into the tier list. Eaton, I'm gonna go ahead and throw at C. We're almost done. Kiki Rot. Did I just throw him on D? I'm just gonna throw him on D. Lena gets D. Wait, this is all rounder Wanda. I'm gonna throw at B. Alencia gets A tier, 100% A tier. I'm going to read chat once I finish this, though, and we're going to do, like, a wrapping up thought. Pavel, I'm going to put on B tier, because he actually is pretty good. Rowan, I'm going to put high B tier. Middle B tier, I guess. Ceriso, I'm going to go ahead and put at low A tier, I think, because Ceriso just has a very, very good kit. Elena almost gets A tier. Honestly, I think Elena might get A tier. If not A tier, it's going to be low B. In terms of Solar, I think she gets it. ML Tywin, you know from me, he's getting S tier. ML Tywin's one of the most potent units in the game. Broman also is getting S tier. Broman also gets S tier easily. Ceriso snowballs, yes. Yeah, Ceriso definitely deserves high A. Litika, does Litika deserve S tier? She's just so good, and she's usually a must-ban unit or the most pre-banned unit in the game right now. So I'm going to give that to her. Little Queen Charlotte, I'm going to put at high B, because she just doesn't have her spot quite figured out. T-Cern gets a hard A tier or S tier, and then Kalric, I'm going to go ahead and give a heavy B, because he does have the high base speed. Honestly, does Kalric have 124? Because he could be with these. Alright, but let's go ahead and get chat's opinion on this. So my S tier consists of either, this is for RTA, the finishing touches are going to be added right now. If you skip to the end of the video to see where I put everything, we have our S tier consisting of Aether, Falconer, Cleary, Dizzy, Arby, Basar, FCC, Alots, ML Tywin, Ruel, Broman, Litika, and T-Cern. I think that is my solid S tier. I think Aether needs a new tier. I don't know how to add a tier. Hold on. We'll give Aether the Aether tier. Give it blue. Add above. Wait. Oh no, I just messed it up. Alright, there we go. That'll work. Alright, so Aether gets their own tier. I'm not going to read off each one, but these are the units I put in A tier. These are the units that are very, very good, but have counters or some minor flaw within them that hurts them. So S tier are like the units that you can draft into almost anything. You can put any one of those on any team in the middle of your draft and completely switch up your draft. It's going to be really good. The A tier units are ones that can be heavily countered by almost anything picked on board. So that's why they're like slightly down a little bit. ML Seria, I would put it B tier, high B tier. She is not on this list. Rylet, I'd put it A tier. And then what else is on this? Landy, I'd probably put at high C tier. Cut back. Here are the units that I missed on the list. So the tier list did not have a lot of the new units, so I went ahead and just threw this up. So these are currently the new 3-stars. I think they're all D except for Ian's high B. Maybe Glenn can have a C. Glenn gives himself self-attack buff, but he has a 900 base attack, so if you're going for him as a damage dealer, it's going to be very, very hard because he doesn't have that insane speed either. So Glenn can maybe get the B. Anus, if you're using Inus or whatever her name is, Land's just better. If you're using it, especially as a C-down pusher. Sinful Angie. Sinful Angie is on here as Angelica at B tier. So I believe these are all the units. If I missed anything, you can ask them if you want my opinion. If not, hope you enjoyed this. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. Pretty heavily. Falconer Cleary seeing the rise. SSB struggles a lot more right now. She is not something that you can just throw into every draft and make it work. Sadly, that's how I used to play. But Broman, 100% S tier. If you've ever seen me play, Broman wins me 99% of my games. She can play around those units, yeah. Can we make a fast food tier list next time? I'm down for that. That'd be fun. But what's your opinion on this tier list? Do you think it's garbage? So YouTube, you give me your opinion too. This is my personal opinion on what I think is the best right now. And I explained each unit basically as I was putting them on. So if you want to see that unit, you're going to have to skip to the point of the video where I go over it, I guess. But overall, it's kind of fun to do. I might do this more often. Depending on your feedback, YouTube, I'm sure you guys are going to bully the snot out of me, but it is what it is. I had fun making this. I will try to do this once every month, once every 2 months, something like that. Just to keep up with how I think the meta is. Solid? You think it's solid? Where's Landy? Landy doesn't have a picture, Steven. Landy's like low B, high C. But you have to play Landy. You have to have a whole team built around trying to figure out Landy. SSB is A tier. She's only S tier, lower RTA where people don't have the units. Yeah. Well, agreed. Landy S tier waifu, below B and RTA, agreed. Yeah. Landy would be like low B tier down with Kalric, because Kalric just doesn't do what ML Ren or Fire Litika do, so that's why he's B tier instead, even though he's one of the high base speed. I think Spectre is definitely S tier. Spectre is the highest A tier. It's just Spectre. The only problem I have with Spectre is any AoE unit's going to bop the snot out of her. So it's like, if you don't draft her into a bulky team, she isn't going to fit. So all the units on top, I feel like you can draft into any team and they're going to work, right? Any team, any of those units are going to work just fine. You can throw it in anything. But if you, say, have a draft of Litika, all squishy units, and you try to bring Spectre Zebria and they have RB, and you can't ban the RB, your Spectre Zebria is probably going to get one shot by the RB if it gets greater. So it's like, That's why I don't want to put her in S, because she just has to have a little bit around her. HU Fiend, I would put at B tier. HU Fiend, almost A tier. A lot of people say HU Fiend's pretty bad. I would put HU Fiend at B. Oh, I almost need to add a note to this, because I don't. This doesn't have the pictures for HU Fiend or a couple of the new units, but I think I went over them all. HU Fiend, I would do high B. I think she's very, very good. She gets played a lot in higher RTA, especially if you pick Basar. I just don't have her played against me too much, because I play the element neutral Broman instead of Basar. But yeah, I agree. Celeste Face Speed, possibility of being drafted alongside Alots or Litika, deck face CM, something to consider. I think personally bump her up to A tier. Celeste is definitely B. I put her B tier, right? So with Celeste's new buff, Celeste doesn't deserve A tier by herself. I don't think. Because there are other units that just do the job better. So I think she stays high B. With her new buffs, I think she's high B. Yeah, this is RTA. RTA tier list. Where's ML Haste? ML Haste is A tier, sorry. Yo, we're missing so many units. Hold on, let's add a little ending segment thing into this. So, S tier, missing units, ML, Crowl, A tier, I'm spelling tier wrong, sorry. A tier, we have, who did we just say? This is all Ulysses' fault? It's not his fault. It might be, kind of, actually, I don't know. Alright, so A tier, I don't remember who we had. And then B. So ML Crowl, A tier, I'm going to go ahead and put Rylet on here, because Rylet does have some of the best things. ML Haste, so ML Haste is A tier. B tier is, I think Landy. Landy deserves B if all these other units do. So we have Landy. What other units do we have? Shu. Shu, I'm going to give B tier. Shu is a pretty good unit. She deserves, like, higher in B. So what else do we have here? Crowl, ML Crowl is S tier. Regular Crowl is A tier. He's still good, but Basar S tier, kind of hot take. Basar is still S tier. Basar is still insane. HU Fiend, oh yeah, HU Fiend. I think HU Fiend is high B tier too. HU Fiend. So there is no of the new units that I would throw into C tier just yet, because I feel like they have their place. Misspelled Crow. Oh, true. Sorry, I'm trying to multi-tier. Glenn is S tier. So the new units, all new 3-stars, are D tier. With the exception of Ian. Which is high B. That is my take on the new 3-stars. So we'll get that in there. Fixed Cross, so I fixed it, okay? Mui is high B tier. Mui's almost A, but Mui's high B. Mui just can't compete with Silverblade Aramenta, but yeah, Mui. Landy definitely deserves to go at the end of this. Versus at the beginning. Mui definitely is like high B though. In S tier, garbage. Garbage tier list, agreed. Angelica gets B tier as well. Angelica's B tier. Most units are B tier in my tier list. Well, Bryceria is B tier. B tier is the biggest list besides the useless list. D tier is the useless list. I respect it, HBC. Wait, what's HBC say? Yeah, and I agree. And it's probably got tier. These are all good units, but they're not like broken standalone units. So B tier is just B tier is where the units go that don't have, they're missing one thing, self-sustain. So CDOM is missing survivability, and she relies on every other unit. Charles is missing consistency. Unless you build him on speed set, then Charles is like high B, honestly. Charlotte just could get stripped and locked down too easy. It's just there's always just a flaw in a lot of these things. That's why they're all B. This list is officially trash. Thank you. Agreed. Bryceria is better than Landy. True, but I'm not gonna go. Bryceria definitely is better than Landy. Bryceria is a great unit, but I mean this is just the added things at the end. So anything else? Any other units that you see that I'm missing? Rylet is not S tier. You said Rylet's S tier earlier. No, I didn't. I said Rylet's the same as Kisei at A tier. I have Blue Kisei at A tier. So I think this is all the new units that matter, at least, right? Don't ignore my Celine. Celine's B tier too. Celine's B tier, easy. Celine's B tier. Okay, fair. Glenn has greater attack buff station and free to play minimum C tier. Well, Glenn, even with the greater attack buff, he has a base attack of 900. So it's like, even when he gets greater, he like peaks at like 4K. If you're building him to actually kill Arby. I mean, it's just the greater attack on Glenn when he only has 900 base attack. Oh, Ray, actually. Does Ray belong in A tier? I will say, no, Ray does not belong in A tier. I'm being an idiot. Ray is B tier. Ray is A tier in terms of against me, but Ray is B tier overall because you can't draft Ray into anything that isn't CC. So Ray is niche. He belongs in B. He has his place. He's good. Ray Shadow Legends, agreed. Elfeld is horrible. It's not even worth putting Elfeld on here. I don't even think Elfeld's not horrible. So Kaz and a bunch of people are starting to do Elfeld stuff. I'm going to put Elfeld at C. She's not on here for some reason. So if Elfeld's not on here, I'm probably missing a bunch of units. But A-Raz is at A. Yeah, A-Raz and Lilius are both like high A. Bellion? Who the hell is Bellion? You haven't fought that Korean dude yet? No, I have fought him. The Elfeld that he uses is only good because he has every other unit around it working good. That is thing. Yeah, Alencia is A tier. Alencia is A tier. So these, okay, so we'll wrap up the video right here. Yeah, the Korean dude, the reason he works, the Elfeld works in his team, and the reason his Huffine now works in his team is because every other unit makes it work. It literally takes 4 other units in the draft to make the Elfeld work. Whereas Shu is B tier. I have Shu on B tier. Yeah, his Diluc is probably F tier. What about Sidam? You put Sidam as V, and all other cleavers are A or above? All other cleavers are A or above? What do you mean? So, I put Sidam at B tier, because, what do you mean? There's no cleaver here. There's no cleaver. All cleavers deserve B tier unless they're Vivian, because Vivian has so much. SSB has so much. All of the cleaving units, Vildred. Every cleaving unit's B tier with her, because they have the same thing. I already have Shu. I have Shu on B tier. Mona asked us S tier. Agreed on that one. Mona's fine. Jean's pretty tight pants too. Guy who wasted Mola and Alpha, yeah. Kaz is doing Alpha right now though. Destina's at B tier. Yeah, Destina's 100% B tier. She's somewhere on here. Yeah, right here. Okay. Free Spiritia is S tier. Free Spiritia I would put at C. Probably. Roanalis or Roana's B tier. Roana just she's good, but she's only good using to counter. So, like I said, the S tier is units that you can bring into literally any draft at any moment, and they're going to be good. Like, picking Basar and H Huffine, at the end, it's still really good because they have to ban your Basar because they think you're going to ban the H Huffine. So that's where Basar is still very, very powerful. But, okay, I'm going to go and wrap it up here. I think we have everything. So I'll go ahead and do one more ending of the video. This is going to be such a pain to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and, so here is the ending of the tier list. I wrote a couple things on a sticky note I'll bring over shortly. So I'll just scroll through this if you want to see the end result. The D tier is just whatever, but this is what I personally think. I did go over each unit as I listed them, so if you want to see what that part is, you can go to that part, but please don't be too harsh. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. Honestly, if you have a different opinion and you think the units are good, use them. Every unit in this game has a potential to be viable. You just have to build your team around them and make it work. Find a way to make it work. Be the person that does the cool thing. It's always cool to see. That's why there's a guy from Asia server who plays Elfelt, and he plays it really well, and he made a name for himself. Everybody knows who he is, in the Twitch scene at least. We don't know who they actually are, but we know when we fight him that he is only going to draft female characters. But you can do stuff like that. Do something cool. You don't have to take my opinion, but my opinion is my opinion, and it's what I personally think. If that makes sense. I don't fucking know. But there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will try to do these more often if you want me to, but if you don't want me to, you think I have the worst take of all time, just let me know down in the comments. I'll delete your comment. And then I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.